but one can always try. And if you don't reach any uh, if you don't reach any agreement, don't close the arguments, don't close the negotiation. Say at present we are not able to come together on some point, we'll meet it again, so that the whole thing is left open. Assertiveness. What is assertiveness? Assertiveness is not saying yes when you want to say no, but you should know how to say no. That means your tone, the way, the language that you use should be such that you are it is indicated that you this is what you are firm, but it will be very polite, very cordial, so that assertiveness requires your cordiality. If you're not cordial, you will not be able to be very assertive. Patience and persistence, it is required everywhere, but in negotiations, the requirement is much more than we can think of. Patience and persistence, because you have, as you are assertive, so you persist, but pleasantly, patiently. Now, ethical standards and integrity, yes, where you have to continue dealing with people, you must use ethical standards and be integrity. But I don't say that if you are using only, if you are meeting only one time negotiation, then you should be unethical. No, ethical standards, and but keep your interest in the focus. Now, next point comes analytical and critical thinking. Analyze what the other person says, analyze the problem, analyze his or her perspective, and then critically think, okay, what are the possibilities that you can offer them. Now, next point, as I said, third question is, which are the situations which require result oriented negotiation skills? Situations that require result oriented, so that some result should come. That is essential in situations where the primary goal is to achieve a specific outcome, or to square, or to secure, I'm sorry, a particular result. Here, let me let me describe some of the situations. Number one, business deals and contracts. Now, if it's a big contract spanning over months or year, so then you have to be very, very careful. This sales negotiation, closing the sales deals with customers or clients, where the focus is on achieving specific terms and conditions. It doesn't mean that you will achieve everything, but as we have discussed earlier, some flexibility, and at the same time being assertive. So you have to draw a line. On this side of the line, I can go, but not beyond that. Now, in supplier contracts also you have to do the same thing. Partnership agreements. Suppose you are doing something in partnership with others, you should know the person, but then you should also put down everything in writing after negotiate. And negotiation skills also come in handy here. Dispute resolution, legal settlements, reaching agreements in legal disputes, offer time, arbitration to avoid litigation. Litigation is waste of time and money. So, arbitration, and there also your negotiation skills will help you. Conflict mediation, resolving conflicts between parties, that is, workplaces and communities, where we have to continue to work together. That also requires your negotiation skills, your patience, your communication skills, all. Project management is another area where defining and adjusting project scope, timelines, and deliverables to the stakeholders. Now, purchasing and procurement also requires, because you have to negotiate price, you have to negotiate contract terms. So all these, everywhere we have seen negotiation skills are very important. Now, if you are buying a property, buying or selling a property, that is again very critical, because here probably you are meeting the client and trying to finalize the deal there and then. Merger and acquisitions, this of course there are specialists who handle these high value uh, mergers and acquisitions. High stakes personal situations. Now, divorce settlements. This also negotiation has to be done. Estate planning. Now, there are number of siblings. So, in any case, it has to be planned and ethical. I have already talked about ethics, but assertiveness, cordiality, patience, there must. Now, fourth question: what is the importance of communication skills for effective negotiation? Clarity and understanding. You will not be absolutely clear unless you have proper communication skills. You should have skill to hold the attention of the people. Not only you should be clear, and one thing which I always say, never try to impress anyone. You just try to express yourself. Express yourself cordially, express yourself to the best of your ability, and that's the best way you can influence people. Now, building rapport and trust. You are negotiating. Maybe you are negotiating with it's only for once, uh, only purchasing or selling a property, but you have to build rapport and trust, which will again require empathy, clear communication skills, and empathy. Empathize with the other person. Put yourself in others' shoes. See from their perspective, and then you will be able to probably appreciate the situation better. Persuasion and influence, as I said, ethos, pathos, and logos. Logos is your how you plan your arguments and how you persuade. Negotiating tactics, that depends on which way the negotiations go, and there and then you should be alert. You should be a strong decision maker to decide what you have to do. Problem solving and conflict resolution. Problems are bound to come in negotiations. Oftentimes, these are assumed problems which can be taken care of by your patience, by active listening, by keeping good arguments. But never lose a ground means assertiveness. You should not, nobody should be able to take you for granted, because then you will feel guilty. You will later on say why to yourself, why I did not do this, why I didn't do that. Now, question number 5 is how to develop good communication skills. We have found in negotiation skills, each and every area, each and every part, you have to have excellent communication skills. Now, what is communication skills? Verbal communication here. Written communication is also important, but in negotiations, verbal communication is more important. Non-verbal communication. What is non-verbal communication? Your body language, your facial expressions, your gestures. All these things are noticed by the other person, and he or she definitely takes stock of the situation. Now, listening skills are critical for everyone. If you want to be successful, be a very good listener. I tell you, if you make other people talk, the people will love you. Everybody wants to speak. But if you want to impress by your long speech, by your long arguments without giving an opportunity, it will not work. So, the listening skills, you should not only be in control of your listening skills, you should also ensure that the other person also listens. How do you ensure that? By eye contact, by repeating certain important things in different words, not in the same words. So, non verbal communication, body language, facial expression, eye contact, and your gestures, hand gestures, these are all important. Clarity and conciseness, never be verbose, be very clear, use best possible words, best possible language, short sentences. Long sentences will not be understood, or at least they will not be assimilated. No, leading speakers, they speak long sentences, no doubt, but they punctuate. After every clause, they pause and they increase their pauses. If the pauses are a little long, then the person, listener, will assimilate what you are saying. Yes, what because assimilation is very important for the public speaker. He is addressing a huge gathering, but if he doesn't give time for people to assimilate what he's saying, he will lose out. Enhance your non-verbal communication. Enhance by understanding body language. Now, here I would like to say it is always a lot of material is available on YouTube. Lot of material is available in the books, but it is recommended that one should have a mentor. Mentor is a person who will be able to guide you what to read, where to go, how to do, and he is a kind of friend that you can rely on him or her without any hesitation. Develop active listening skills. Yes, uh, you decide, no, I will understand each and every word, but also the hidden meaning of the entire discourse. That is, practice empathy. Empathy, if you practice, if you keep, now it doesn't require time. It doesn't require, if your mind is attuned to, if your mind is alert, if you're mindful, and if you are self-aware, these qualities will become a part of your habit. Practice empathy. Improve written communication. As I said, if you improve written communication, your vocabulary will be better. You will be able to explain your points more clearly because you have right words for the right use. Get feedback. Get feedback, not bonhomie. Now, if you go for a program, if I go for a program and everybody says wonderful, wonderful, this is not the feedback. Feedback is actual feedback that you have to gather. You may gather it not directly, but directly feedback. You must have, maybe not on the same day, because on the same day, everybody, if you have done a program, 1 day program, so if on the same day, if you give the feedback forms, nobody will have guts to write anything except appreciation. So get the proper feedback and self-evaluate. Evaluate yourself. Your one speech, compare it with other, because your aim is to be better than before all the time. Expand your vocabulary. Yes, today thesaurus is available on the net. That is a good thing. If you find that you are using some word which is not so accurate, please use thesaurus, and you will be able to find the correct word, and you will be able to expand your vocabulary. Engage in public speaking. Needless to say, public speaking will give you confidence. It requires preparation. So you will be used to prepare for speeches and for negotiations also. Use technology and resources, please. These days, lot of uh, applications are available for Grammarly and various other. So use that. Maintain a positive attitude. Undoubtedly, a person with a negative attitude, he or she can never be the winner. Now, I remember a story. One person bought a unique, marvelous dog, and he took the dog to a lake. There was a lake nearby. So he threw a ball. The dog did not swim. The dog walked on the water, and he brought the bag. But this man was amazed. He couldn't believe himself. How could a dog walk on the water? So he threw it again, and again the dog just walked and brought back the ball. He couldn't believe. He said, "No, I'll try again." He again uh, threw, and the same thing repeated. So he was sure that the dog is not an ordinary dog. He is able to walk on the water. Next day, he talked to his neighbor. He says, I have bought a new dog." So he said, "Congratulations." He says, "But let me take you to show how my dog is." So the neighbor went with him. They went to the lake. He threw the ball. The dog again walked on water and brought it back. This guy asked the neighbor, "Did you notice something unusual?" He didn't reply. Then threw the ball again. And on the third time, when he threw the ball and dog just walked on water, this guy asked his neighbor again, "Did you notice something different? Did you notice something unusual?" He said, "Yes, I have noticed something unusual. Your dog does not know how to swim." Now, he is the example of true negative thinker. He did not consider the marvel of dog walking on water, but he was focused on that the dog could not swim. Now, last question which I deal with today is why negotiation skills are important for your success in any area of life. Any area of life. Conflict resolution, we have seen there are always conflicts and we have to resolve them. Improved relationships. Yes, career advancement, you have to negotiate your salary, you have to negotiate various your promotions, various other things. Problem solving negotiations involve identifying these solving problems in a way that satisfied as much as possible all the parties. Resource management, effective negotiation helps in managing resources more effectively. There's no doubt about it. Increased influence and persuasion. If your arguments are good, if you are controlled, you have controlled your emotions, So influence will be better. You will be able to influence people. And enhanced communication, your negotiation requires enhanced. And negotiation also enhances communication skills, because every time you succeed, you feel uh, very elated, and therefore you feel that yes, you can do it. And but here the catch is never to feel that next time you don't work. Life is such, we have to work continuously. And if we work continuously, we start enjoying work. We don't go unprepared anywhere. Even if you are attending a party, be prepared. You know who all are coming. So, and what you want, you may be wanting introduction, or you may be wanting to build relations with some important people. So, plan it. Yeah. So, this is what I have to say. And now we have time for questions, any additions, any comments. So all are welcome. Yes, Mr. Banerjee.
Mr. Satish, good
Yes.
evening. Yeah, I
Good
heard
evening.
you. I heard you nice and proper. I think there is another relevant point which needs to be emphasized.
Yes.
One ought to know how far to go and no more. Your
No,
negotiations must have this barrier, and I would like to just share this with you. My last take home salary uh, quite some time back was 34 lakh rupees a month. Today
hmm,
I got me an offer. I have a little time, so I said, let me try. I got an offer from a company who wants to start operations in the country. Fine. Responsibility is fine. Remunerations 3,000 to 6,000 per month. Timings 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, this is weird, unrealistic, sir. I just wanted your comment on this.
no,
Thank
no,
you.
no. See,
Can I
as I
try?
said, as I said, preparation. When you prepare, this is one of the major aspect to how far you will go. So preparation means you you decided in your mind, and then you use your assertiveness. But say no in a
Doesn't
manner
happen.
doesn't
Oh,
affect
sorry,
others.
sorry.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead. Not a
No,
problem.
sir, it doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen that way, especially if you are extremely talented. One doesn't mind paying those extra dimes more, sir. Believe me, I've done it. I keep doing it, sir. I mean, if I find that one could replace one and a half, I'd be a game for it, sir. Industry standards, understandable. Yes, understandable. But to undervalue to this an extent is weird from a multinational in the UK. Anyway, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Banerjee. Thank you. Yes, Mirjana.
Uh, I just wanted to say that, or try to answer on Mr. Anjon question. I
Yes.
heard it in your speech. It's a situation you sell yourself, and you
Yes.
mentioned that you need to set uh, boundaries, and you said that you need to have some flexibility and you need to be assertive, patient. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find it in my notes, but you mentioned that is
No,
the situation. Am I right?
patience. Sorry for interrupting. Patience is a rare commodity. So you have
Okay.
to find patience and then develop it. Please
O-
go
o-
ahead.
okay. Just wanted to recognize in your, let's say, training. Is this a point uh, which explains a situation in which Anion, Mr. Anion was today, yesterday, what exactly he said? I'm not sure.
No, no. Mirjana, I have not really understood what you want to
Mr.
communicate. Please say it again.
I just wanted to ask if I understood correctly. I wanted to recognize the situation Mr. Anjan, explained. What is it in your today's speech? And I see it as situation where you are trying to sell yourself, or company which wants to hire you also try to sell your sell yourself.
Yes.
It is a mutual it is like selling of
Yeah,
something.
it is negotiation.
Yes, it is negotiation.
The
And
company wants to buy and you want to sell yourself.
yes, it's not that indirect way you explained. In some circumstances it's not in that way, but am I right around uh, pointing out the situation from your training today, speech today? And because you mentioned in that situation boundaries that you need to set and stay flexible, that is, flexibility is possible changing or of terms and conditions of the contract
Yeah.
between.
So sorry for interrupting.
Mhm, it's okay.
Mirjana, when I said prepare, in the preparation, you have to understand what the other person, you have to plan, you have to understand what the other person is going to ask you. And then, because you are preparing and you are flexible, you leave some margin. You will say, okay, I'll demand this, but up to this, it is okay. And beyond this, nothing else.
Okay,
Uh,
and that is boundaries. You set
yes, that is boundary.
after reading of offer or after
No, no,
after
no.
meeting.
This is a part of your preparation. Not meeting before meeting the person, you are preparing.
But
This
Mr.
is a part.
Satish, in
Yes.
modern world, you get an offer. You don't have a meeting in some cases. That's why I'm asking this. You know, you get an offer in digital way, and you read it, and you need to react. That is the same situation, but without human interaction. I had that situation. That's why I'm asking this.
You see, human feelings are natural. If somebody says, if I am worth, as Anjan said, uh, worth X, and I am being given zero point 0x. So, but I had faced this situation once. I was buying some T-shirts in South. So the person asked out of his mind, uh, the rate he quoted was too much. So I felt very upset.